Welcome back to Jay the Gamer Tactical, your ultimate home for Battlefield 6, Delta Force, and future FPS. Here is all about teamwork, strategy, and those jaw-dropping moments. From class setups, pro tips, to intense firefights, squad-based gameplay, and we got everything here for sharpen your skills and dominate the battlefield. But today we got another reaction video, at least until Battlefield 6 drop. Now we do have a video for Battlefield 6, which is a gameplay from the beta, and I want to go ahead and show you guys some of the gameplay and this weapon that I want to go ahead and showcase. Also, we do have some Delta Force content dropping soon, so stay tuned for that. I believe tomorrow we're going to be dropping something, but today we got a news for Battlefield 6 and we're going to be reacting to this video right here. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time, man. But anyway, let's get into this video. And this is from Enders right here.
Well, in today's video, we have some
let's check it out.
Topics to discuss regarding Battlefield 6 that happened over the weekend via some IGN articles that came out and some community discussion and, well, outrage over one particular topic. It's a topic that I'm sure a lot of you will have very, very strong opinions of in the comments section, so I honestly can't wait to get into it. So, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you do enjoy the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to follow Battlefield 6 and everything about it, and of course, swing by a stream.
We're going to put the link on the description down below on this video, by the way, guys.
Is, of course, the community outrage. I saw it on Twitter and Reddit. They were talking about skins. Yes, Battlefield 6 skins. The general consensus so far is that the BF6 skins, based on leaks and just official things we've seen as well, is that, well, the community seems to enjoy it. The direction of the game, the aesthetic of the game, seems to be going in a very acceptable direction for the majority of the community. People want gritty realism, military-based cosmetics, and it looks as though DICE is trying to oblige. However, based on a leak over the weekend, there was a skin that came out that looked like something that was sponsored by Monster Energy. It was black and green, and you better believe Reddit and all social media was freaking out about it. I'm sure if you guys were on Reddit, you guys saw the memes going around about this skin. It did quite literally look like a walking Monster Energy can. If you ask me personally, I mean, guys, I don't care about skins, so like, I'm not really too worried about it. However, when people saw this skin, in combination with a statement from a developer from an IGN article interview, this is where the concern got out of control in a few threads, and I'll just read the statement to you right now. I think we're really happy with where we are.
Before we continue with
shooter. Other games can and should be whatever they want to be, right? Like, we're not. I don't know. Fortnite is pretty goofy, and that game is pretty good. So I think where we end up, we're pretty happy with where we are. We are a gritty, grounded, realistic shooter. That's what we intend to be, and that's what the game is going to look for a while. Now, did you catch that ending? That's what the...
Alright, before we continue, let's go ahead and dive right into this right now. This is what's going on, y'all. Check this out, man. Because I do have some intel. I do have some people that play the Battle Lab. I have a lot of people that have connection with Battlefield 6. I told them I don't want them to put me on to boost out my channel or anything like that. So I wanted to keep that separate. So we're not gonna mention any name. This is what I'm gonna say right here. So I don't think that when it comes to a sponsorship, because the thing with Battlefield, I don't remember any Battlefield that had like big sponsors when it comes to like Monster Drinks, Little Caesar, or anything that like what had them actually have those cosmetics, right? I don't remember. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. But I have an idea right here, right? And this is why I say some of my friends that I talked to, they were telling me that this idea that I came up with was actually not that bad. If you guys, because a lot of people don't want to be running around with Ninja Turtles and Nicki Minaj or the Terminator and all of that stuff. If you guys are gonna do a sponsor, right? Let's say like the Monster Drink, right? If you guys are gonna do a sponsor with a Monster Drink, why not tell the sponsor like, yo, we're gonna sponsor, or you guys are gonna sponsor the game. We're gonna put you guys on the game, on the skins, right? If we're gonna do that, the best way for us to actually put you guys' product on the game, instead of turning the entire skin into that. For example, the American Dad or the Ninja Turtle, instead of turning the whole thing, what about just having some type of patch on the skin, right? So you guys know how when you become a private, lieutenant, when you level up, you have a patch. It could be something, some type of patch, or maybe some gloves or something on the helmet. You know what I'm saying? That it would just have the name of their sponsor, Monster Drink. You know what I'm saying? The Ninja Turtles, you could have just have a small patch in here saying Ninja Turtles or something that is not too visible. That way you're not walking around with an actual skin. You're just walking around with a name somewhere in your uniform, your gloves, your boots, something, a name or like a sticker. That's it. Because it's not going to be so visible. I'm running around, I'm looking for the enemy, and I'm looking at a soldier, and you look like a normal soldier, and it's going to be hard for me to see the patch, maybe, or to see what he got on the helmet. But if the person is actually making videos or something like that, in the intro, you can always see that. But even after they die, they can probably show the patch or something. You know what I'm saying? It could be a way to actually do that and not have those customization too out of the blue like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like Ninja Turtles. Come on, man. Like, I know this guy right here, Anders, say that he doesn't mind that type of stuff, but coming from Call of Duty and playing Call of Duty for years, we went from Modern Warfare 1 to now Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7 coming up, and to keep seeing customization like that, like, we don't want to see that. It might not bother him, but it bothers other people. You know what I'm saying? So why not have the game just straight up soldiers and something like that? So anyway, let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about that idea? I know that comment was long, but man, skins is a big issue, you guys. Skin is a big issue. If you guys want to actually see things like that, I mean, go play Fortnite, go play something else. But Battlefield, we don't want to see that. But anyway, let's continue with the video.
Game is going to look like for a while. Yeah, as you can imagine, the internet really read far too deep into the for a while portion of that. And I saw a lot of doom posting surrounding the skins going, oh my god, it's going to be like Call of Duty. There's going to be a Ninja Turtle shooting at a Terminator while he gets assassinated by Nicki Minaj. It's over. Oh my god. So that's just typical Battlefield community reaction when it comes to that. In my opinion, I don't see a world where they start BF6's cosmetic journey off with a bunch of realistic military skins and then somehow segue it into releasing ridiculous collaborations like we see in Fortnite and Call of Duty. I just don't see it in Battlefield's future. And maybe I'll be catastrophically wrong, but I don't know. I'd be willing to bet that it's not going to go that way. And even if you look at Battlefield 2042, a couple of the skins are pretty out there, but I'd say in general, everything in 2042 is not that crazy, especially in comparison to other games. So if they didn't do it in 2042,
sensitivity is high on this guy, man. I don't have
any reason to believe they're going to destroy the game with weird skins in BF6.
Man, this guy's sensitivity is crazy.
The skin discussion brought up a separate issue within the community,
which
is the fact that the community is asking for a skin toggle switch, meaning basically people just want the option to turn skins off so they don't have to see them on other players.
Wow, that is huge.
This is an interesting suggestion, because in my opinion, there really isn't anything wrong with it, aside from maybe being fairly technically difficult to implement in the game itself, but I have absolutely no idea about that. Now, moving away from the topic of skins to a much more important topic in my opinion,
the maps.
Which
Let's go.
Is about the maps in Battlefield 6 and some of the community concerns surrounding the Battlefield 6 beta maps being quote-unquote too small in a lot of people's opinions. In my opinion, the people that said the BF6 maps are too small in the beta are just complaining for no reason, because we know for a fact we are getting far larger maps once the game releases. But this is what a developer had to say on the topic.
Let's hear.
I don't know if you know the specific answer to that, Matthew, but I do know that, first of all, there was feedback. The maps were too small, and yeah, in hindsight, maybe we should have put one of the bigger maps into the beta so that we didn't get that feedback. but we've always been planning on doing bigger maps, right? We recently tested some of the bigger maps in Battlefield Labs, and there were a bunch of reasons why we picked the maps we did for the open beta, including partly the maps that were furthest along and the most ready to show in the open beta. So I don't think we need to react to the maps aren't big enough feedback by making changes to the small maps. They're just small maps. They're different experiences, right? We do have those big maps. Those big experiences, we did run them in Battlefield Labs over the last, I believe, 2 weekends.
Okay.
So we've gotten feedback on those and want to make sure that those are good for the large map experience. I do know that on all the maps, we collect feedback on them. I mean, I can't answer specific questions about specifically what we changed, but we did collect a bunch of feedback and make changes. I don't know, Matthew, if I have any more specific examples, and then the developer he's referring to, Matthew, has his own answer. We looked at maps via game mode. If an MCOM on a certain map was maybe a little bit too close or an incorrect position that we deemed, there have been changes in that regard to more smooth out overall gameplay experience when it comes to maps supporting multiple modes. We want to really make sure that each map shines, and there are going to be choke points. There are going to be rough spots.
Man, this is a lot of
really
info.
Sick holds that are going to happen. Maybe on the last push of Rush or something, but there have been active discussions and active changes when it comes to messaging things a little bit. MCOMs are moving points around when it comes to certain feedback points that were very apparent. You know, hey, this little adjustment had to happen. So that pretty much puts concerns to rest regarding whether or not there will be super large maps in Battlefield 6. And they did provide very good insight as to why they chose these specific maps they did for the BF6 beta.
Ooh,
they were simply the most finished maps they had to offer. And
let's jump into this real quick. So when it comes to maps, though, like, I don't know, like, yes, like playing the beta, to me, these maps didn't feel small. I feel like these maps were more mid-size to me. Because if it was small maps, we talking about like Call of Duty small where you can do like TDM. I didn't feel like these maps you can do like regular team deathmatch 6v6. You know what I'm saying? Like that's small. Like any of the maps that we play on the beta, there is no way you can do a 6v6. See what I'm saying? There's no way you can do a 6v6. It had to be at least a maybe 16v16 or 24 versus 24. That was, I would say, like that, or even 32 versus 32. 32 versus 32 is the large maps, but I'm saying like playing 32 versus 32 on that medium map, it will be chaos, and that's what we want to see on Battlefield. We want nothing but chaos, explosion, and nothing but action and shooting. But I really don't think these maps were small. People keep saying small. I think they were medium size. Now as far as like big maps though, if you guys really think about it though, we didn't see no jets, we didn't see no helicopter. So people that didn't know that they were gonna have big maps, I mean, come on, man, like y'all really gotta pay attention. We didn't see no helicopters or jets on any of these maps. I feel like they wanted to just jump straight into chaos, and I feel like the big maps, it would have been a little slower as far as like showcasing kills and things like that, because you're gonna have a lot of people flying jets, tanks, and let's be honest, Conquest sometimes, for some people, Conquest is a little slow. For some people, depending on the maps. Because sometimes it's hard to get kills because everybody is like really far and it's a lot of camping with snipers and things like that. Some people do know how to get kills, but the majority of, you know, people that play Conquest, they don't get a lot of kills. You know what I'm saying? The casual players. Only a lot of people with skills that get a lot of kills. And I think like they wanted to showcase chaos and a lot of kills and things like that. I think that's why they showed the medium-sized maps. But man, I didn't mind. These maps are more for medium-sized Conquest or Rush. You know what I'm saying? Even large team deathmatch or something like that. So I didn't mind these maps though.
Do you think it is funny? A lot of the maps that were featured in the BF6 beta were urban, and I remember a distinct period in time
this is huge.
where the Battlefield community were begging on their knees for urban maps, and as soon as they got them in the BF6 beta, they started bitching and moaning. So I truly believe this is just one of those situations where you can't please everyone. There's always going to be a section of people that is somehow dissatisfied with something and wish you did a different thing. And that segues me perfectly into the last topic of this video, which is me touching on some of the community reaction I've seen so far regarding the Battle Royale. Obviously, there was that official blog post that was just released, but of course, inevitably, there were Battle Royale leaks, and I've seen a lot of positive talk, and I've seen a lot of negative talk. There's still a section of people that quite simply don't understand that the Battle Royale is here to stay, and there's nothing they can do about it. Like, some of the people that I see comment on this subject really think it's a possibility for DICE just to scrap this and replace it with some sort of other thing. I've even seen suggestions saying they should just scrap the entire BR game mode and repurpose the giant BR map for a planet-side style Battlefield experience. Newsflash, guys.
What?
The chances of that happening are 0. At this point in time, if you're not planning on playing the BF6 Battle Royale,
play it.
I just have to say, don't play it, you know? Just let people enjoy it or let it die. Simple as that. But that is going to wrap this video up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, let me
for
say
watching.
something.
If you do enjoy the content and want to keep up to date with Battlefield 6, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button.
Hey,
and
sub to the guy,
stream.
man.
I'm
Sub
live
to the guy.
every single day
For sure.
Twitch.tv/Enders and this
Thumbs
very
up,
YouTube
thumbs
channel.
up.
Thank you for watching. And
All right, so let's say something about the BR. I would say a lot of people's concern when it comes to the BR is just the fact that we've seen what happened to Warzone, and the consensus of Warzone was more like developers took a lot of what was on the Battle Royale and they try to use some of the stuff from the Battle Royale to the multiplayer, right? So when we talk about maps, we're talking about weapons. A lot of people will go to the multiplayer just to level up the weapons to then play in Warzone. And then what happens is you get content creators, they're going to focus more on the Battle Royale. And then developers seeing that these content creators have 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people watching on the stream. And then that's going to make the developers think, hey, this is what people want to watch. And then they will focus more on the Battle Royale. Yes, obviously we know that they're going to update the multiplayer, but in the long run, it's going to be like, it's going to turn more into, let's focus more on the Battle Royale versus the multiplayer. And I think like that's kind of like the concern that most players have, and just the fact that I don't think players want to feel that, and it's natural. It's almost like jealousy. I don't think players want to feel jealous of the Battle Royale where everybody's going to be talking about Battle Royale, right? Even you're going to go on YouTube and you're going to see Battle Royale content. And then you as a player that play multiplayer, even when you go to YouTube to look for a class setup or something, it's going to be so much Battle Royale information on YouTube. And it's just going to drive you crazy because jealousy. Like, we don't want to see that. Being able to just see content on the multiplayer. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's just making content on multiplayer. We're going to see so much Battle Royale. I feel like people are going to be getting mad, upset. And it's going to be like, man, this is all now what people talk about. And then developers are constantly, when we get like a DLC or we get some type of expansion pack, it's going to be like, okay, the Battle Royale got this much content. Multiplayer only got this much content. Think about this. So what happens if the multiplayer release one map and then Battle Royale release this and this and that, and then this cosmetics and then this mission? Then now it's like, man, you releasing little bit content for this and more content for that. And I think that's the concern, instead of a full DLC and it's all focused on the game. And that's not going to happen no more because you got Battle Royale. I think that's the issue, y'all. But anyway, man, let me know what you guys think. Drop a like. Only comes down below. We'll see you guys next time.